Hello and welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphries on the road. Thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy this episode where we speak about fucking Vegas, baby. We just got back from my stag do. Nobody dies. Nobody went to jail. Money was lost. Friends were made. Kisses were had. Only between men on the stag do, though. God, that's sad that is true. Oh, no, thingy got laid.
Thingy.
Yeah, single thingy got laid, so he did a lot of heavy lifting, but other than that, just a lot of blokes kissing blokes, I'll be honest with you. We don't talk about that much, though. We speak about things from, it's going to be, what we speak about India, and how excited we are to come there, mixed in with some casual racism, because, you know. And this is very much like a first part of the Vegas stories, and then accidentally, but also not sorry about it, have accidentally turned this into real fucking clickbait shit. So you're getting the first half of the Vegas stories here, and then the rest you're going to hear on Thursday's Patreon episode. Oh no, is that not going to be available to the public? Nah, can't. No, it's not. So geez your fucking money. How about that? Suckered in, you absolute fucking wanks. We are laughing our way to the bank. Now that we're no longer laughing our way to Vegas. Enjoy the podcast, fuckers.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Is there a small party that just wished you died there, so that we didn't have to confront normal day-to-day life afterwards?
It does feel like, what's this fuck? Brian Regan used to have a bit. I think Rhys Darby used to have a bit on it, which was like moon depression, which is like people who'd been to the moon come back to the earth, and their wife's there, their kids are there.
Is that why they call it coming back down to earth?
Maybe.
Do you reckon that's the etymology of it?
Well, no, I feel that's more like if you're coming back down to earth, I feel that's more like you're a satellite crashing and burning on your way back into entry.
Aye.
If you're being brought back down to earth
with a bang.
Aye.
It's like hitting the deck. I've just been fucking trying to handle real life. I fucking just doing my business, doing my laundry. Fucked that up.
You did.
I thought it was like I could have spent all day just watching the football. It's a Saturday. It's a day after the stag do. I could just fucking lounge around all day. I've got the dog. Natalie's at work, but Peggy stayed in with me. I thought I'd be fucking clever and do the washing. Mm-hmm. And then when I took the washing out, there was my passport all over my clothes. Yeah, just in bits. Yeah. If I'd done nothing, that wouldn't have happened. If I'd lounged around instead of trying to be productive when I come down.
Or if Natalie had done your washing.
There's
no way. Cara has I can't tell you how many times Cara has handed me either my vape, my Tesla keys, or my wallet as we get into bed. As she's come up from the washing, and she's like, "You're a fucking idiot," and I'm like, "Baby, this is why I'm the one that cleans out the food bin, right? This is why I'm the one that cleans up, when I'm the one that's double packing trash."
So you're scraping plates and you're like, there's your contact lenses in your food.
Well, I mean, all the food comes off the plate. I do my share. I do my share of things where she's like, I hate that job, and also I'm bad at it.
But she does the share where anything that could go wrong.
Anything where I could lose valuable, crucial bits of information.
I need to be doing stuff mindlessly.
Aye.
Because I switch my mind off when I do stuff.
And I know a lot of people at home be saying, well, surely you shouldn't be taking out the bins then. No, I am. Because I'm not putting stuff into the bin to then take out. It's the stuff that's already been in the bin.
It's been vetted.
That's a separate...
Trust the process.
Yeah.
Measure twice.
That's a
cut
different...
ones.
If I do bin something, that's a fuck up from a different day. That's a 3-day ago fuck up. This is separate.
Yeah, so the worst thing is, right, as I packed to come home, like I was packing the gun away, I was checking my pockets, I was rolling stuff up. Like when I opened my suitcase, it was neat, and I'd already checked the pockets, but mostly so I didn't take drugs through the airport. So I knew the pockets were empty, but I still checked every pocket into the wash. And then just as I clicked the door shut, and you've got that fucking 5-minute grace period where you could still open the door once it started. Yeah. I was like, the shit I travelled in, fucking ran upstairs, grabbed my passport, yeeted it in.
Wallet, fucking boarding pass.
So I've tried it on the radiator, and you can still read it, but it's fucking damaged. I'm not going to risk. I've got an appointment booked in tomorrow, but it is as stressful against the clock for us going to India on Wednesday.
Well, it's stressful for you. I'm still going to India.
You're still going to India, but You are going to need a chaperone for that place, mate.
Aye. Well, fucking, I don't imagine. Do we have any Indian fans that listen to this podcast?
Hi, loads.
Really?
People were getting in touch asking if I was coming. Are you definitely coming?
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like, if you go on whatever our fucking podcast hosts on, you do that thing where it shows where you listen from.
Well, I only know from people getting in touch from listening from India.
Well, so if in that case we do have Indian listeners. I think all of the shows have sold out, which was very exciting because we've been wanting to obviously announce them and do them for ages. I know they are very short notice. That is
unnecessarily short notice, but sold out still.
Yeah, sold out
We went
still.
flapping about it, but we could have had a bit more warning.
But also, because here's the thing, right? Not to, and we will talk about Vegas and the stag do and get to all those funny fucking funny stories. Let me tell you, it's a boring bit of stand-up career tactic wise. It's a new market, so even though we were very confident, like I think we can do 2,000 in India. I think confidently, I think we can do that. Our promoters, who's the first time working with them, were right. They're like, hey, we're excited to have you. We're the biggest and best over here. It's our suggestion that we start with this. We're not say we don't believe you, but it's a new market. Let's see what fucking happens. And constantly in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know in my gut.
Just from the Twitch comments.
I know in my gut I know in my gut I can shift 5,000 in India. I reckon I could do 10,000 in India.
And that's just 10,000 people who said, when are you coming to India?
Aye. But again, I'm also aware that I am a human being fueled by ego. Like there's a voice in my head that's important to who I am sometimes that tells me I'm better than I am, just so that I have the ego to go on stage and continue to act the way I act. So I'm like, is that ego there coming in and saying? And then literally, Marlena, before the flight, she was like, I know you're about to go on your stag do, and I know you're literally boarding the flight, but I'm really sorry. We have to add fucking extra dates. So we've added some, and now we are looking into coming back on this tour, bringing the same show back at a later date in bigger venues, because now that we know India is a big hit.
And if my passport doesn't arrive in time for this trip, I'll be there for that one. I'd be fucking devastated if I miss that trip because of my passport.
Let's get me, surely by the end of 2024, we can make me the biggest British act in India.
Ooh, who
else is it?
I don't know.
Who else is it?
Who's going out there right now?
Aziz Ansari is American and the only one I know that's gone out and done it. I know Jerry Seinfeld tried to do it but didn't sell out. Haha, Jerry, in your face, 1-0 me. That's right, 1-0. That's right, 1-0 Jerry. 1-0.
Yeah, when I come, that should come down. That was BC.
Yeah.
That was before the Premier League era.
Yes. The goal to say to Jerry 1-0. No, motherfucker, no. What do you mean, no? What's so hard about saying zero?
Did you see me actually real life do a Jerry Seinfeld joke at the airport?
No.
When we're fucking queuing in Heathrow to get onto the flight. Actually, no, it was at the Edinburgh leg. We're queuing to get on the flight, and I was like, and I don't know for sure it's a Jerry Seinfeld joke, but surely it's a Jerry Seinfeld joke. It's like, who's buying luggage in the airport?
Oh, yeah.
Who's already got through security? Your luggage is checked on the flight, and then you're buying 23 kilograms of luggage. It's got to be a Jerry Seinfeld bit, right?
Yeah.
And even if it has been him, it's been done since. It's become hack.
Yeah,
Nobody's
yeah.
even doing it anymore because you can guarantee, even though I haven't heard it as a bit, it's been done.
Man, dads are going through the airport and making that joke. Like regular fucking people. I guarantee dads are being like, oh, fucking blah, blah, blah. That's what dads do.
So I'm with Mark Nelson, Gareth and Cullen, and I'm in the airport, and I'm like, I know it's a fucking hack bit, but who the fuck actually is? Like, everybody can stand on stage going, who's buying luggage in the blue? But who the fuck is buying luggage? I'm going to go out there and ask them right now, right? And I fucking stormed out. I'm like, who's this for? And the guy there with his lanyard just absolutely fucking baffled going, it's my first ever customer. I don't know how to react.
It's like a Mormon when you open the door. Sorry, a Jehovah's Witness when you open the door. They're like, so I need to call base. Can you don't close it. Don't close it. Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, no one told me about step 2. What's step 2?
Yeah.
So I fucking would march in, mate, and he's fucking wide-eyed. He doesn't know how to answer. He's fucking checking his notes and all that. And I was like, so if I want to buy one of these right now, they're going to let me on a flight with fucking... Matt, are you listening?
Got it.
Yeah, they're going to let me on a flight when they fucking said that it's got to fit in this thing. You're going to sell us one of them and they're just going to take it off us at the gate. And he was like, oh, no, you order them to get delivered to your house. And I'm like, well, it's a fucking bit late now. All this just started. I'm not going to get it delivered to my house. It's still a terrible business model. You actually get any customers. And he's just like, treating us like a dickhead because that's what I am. Yeah. Right, and I walked away. And as soon as I got back to report back with like, you meant to order them to get delivered to home, we looked and he was fucking pulling the shutters down and locking them and running away. I was like, I've just glitched the Matrix. You're not meant to look at that part of the coding. You've just been handed a coaster.
It's like that. It's like that bit in the Truman Show where he goes to the elevator and it opens up. The other elevator opens up and it's just all the people on the computers with the recording equipment. He's like, oh, and they're like, oh, that elevator is broken.
Yeah, it was that. I glitched the shit out of it. I just locked it off middle of the afternoon.
Aye.
Gone for lunch.
Here's well, I'll talk about India just a bit more, and then we'll talk about the stag do from the beginning. I think would be the safest way to do it, with certain bits edited out along the way. I'm excited to gig in India. I've heard from people that have performed there that they are a very like generous and excited audience, and I think that combined with how generous and excitable my audience are already, I think the gigs are going to be amazing. I can't lie and say I'm not. I'm excited to see the cities, but I'm also very aware of how I'm a very privileged person, and because of that, I deal with poverty very poorly.
Aye, the culture shock.
Aye, man, fucking LA is tough for me. Like driving, like America, I can't handle the homelessness in America and just how callous they are with it.
But you know what though? Like with the homelessness in America and the homelessness in LA, I feel like that's a lot of people like fucking like downbeat and struggling and having serious mental health issues and howling at the moon and fucking screaming on and making it feel unsafe. When I saw the homelessness, or not even the homelessness, because it's like they live in the shanty towns. Is that what they call them?
Never been.
They call them slums, or is that derogatory term?
I mean, probably.
They're all like busy and about their business and fucking active and
I honestly thought it was going to be like they're singing songs, they're dancing, they're throwing their fucking paint up in
whistling.
the air.
And
they're all chimney sweeps.
They're just coming into the veranda with a towel around their waist to dry off. It's I didn't feel like they were unhappy. I didn't feel like there was a general demeanour of like fucking unhappiness around when I saw it.
I'm excited as fuck to meet the people. I'm also excited as fuck about the like. I guarantee there are jokes I'll be able to do in India, local Indian jokes about the Indian people after I get to fucking know them, that I'll be able to do there, that will be deemed offensive if I come back here. Same way that with the fucking Japanese.
The Tokyo
stuff
ones,
yeah. I want to find out what the line in India is, but the one thing I'm really, really worried about is you see how I perform. I insult my audience, right? Whether I'm with them, whether, and I regularly, when outside of Scotland, will refer to any other nation that's not Scotland as you're a dirty, dirty Englishman, and you're a dirty.
Don't call them Pakistani.
No, that's not.
I'm saying this as your friend. Off the record, even though it's on the record, don't.
I guarantee that would be the line for them. I guarantee. And not because it's not racist to them. That's like walking on in Glasgow and be like, all right, yeah, English cunts. You are going to, if you go on in India and be like, all right, yeah, that word. It's not, they're not going to be like, that's derogatory. They're going to be like,
Calamia Macam.
Yeah, that's why that's offensive. No, but you're kind of along the right lines. I can't call them dirty, dirty Indians. Like I can't. Like that's a bit where I'm gonna have to like self-edit the way I actually fucking talk, because I would call anyone, you're a dirty, dirty Welshman.
What you're doing now is even more horrendous. Well, I can't say it to them because they are dirty.
No, because other people have used the term dirty, dirty Indian. It's a known phrase from bastards before.
Colonialism.
Yes.
You don't want to come across like a colonialist.
No. As I'm like, am I the biggest act in India? I came here to dominate. Yeah. I came here to fucking take over.
Wait a minute. There's a class system here, and I could be top of it in a heartbeat.
Oh, wait, no, what? But here's the other. So, I'm always worried whenever we go to fucking new places of like going in, very aware of how ignorant you are of everything. Like, I know Indian people, so therefore I know But the Indian social structure is they've got caste system, man, and I can't even. And that's like a. I don't think
Darker skin's worse.
Is it?
Yeah, because that means they're like being exposed to the sunlight. They're outdoor. They'll probably work as like if you've been indoors and you've been like sheltered from the sun. You live like a more elitist
So
life.
they're not tanning in India.
They're bleaching.
They're bleaching.
They're bleaching their skin. Because I queued up for skin bleaching cream instead of suntan lotion because I couldn't read the Urdu on the bottle.
And you got to the front of the line and they were like, "Buddy, you're done. buddy, we don't. Buddy, you're not. Your colour's not even on the wall.
You finished your course. You ran your course like.
But can we use you as the after photo just to get other people in here?
I was just trying to get rid of my freckles. Still had freckles. I needed to bleach out.
Or would that be? I wonder if that's because surely that they would want that if you're becoming so the whitest thing in the world is a ginger cunt. That's the whitest fucking thing in the world.
Aye.
So do Indians want to be ginger?
I don't think so. Nobody wants to be ginger.
I know nobody in this country wants to be ginger. But if their thing is right, they want to have the pasty fucking skin. There's nothing whiter than a ginger person. There's nothing.
Nah.
That
albino.
Oh, fuck, all right, okay. Yeah, all right, but there's, 11 of those? 10 when I get my license? What a horrible joke. For no.
It's just one of them you're after.
I don't want to hunt them to extinction. I think we should still, I'm going to hunt one of the older ones.
Andy does don't clear the mound.
But I'm going to kill one of the older ones that's infertile, that's lived its life, that's stopping two of the younger albinos from fucking each other. They're only allowed to fuck each other. We got to keep that white race pure. That I believe. Not this one, not Caucasian, but the albino. That's the white race we have to keep pure. What a horrible podcast. I say podcast, it's me. This podcast would be lovely if someone else was on it.
It's nice and wholesome.
Yeah, it was like people being like, "Oh God, this church, what a bunch of wankers they are." La, la, la. Anyway, I think there's a legit theory there that if you were to ask Indian people, if you were given the chance to become ginger, I reckon 50%.
Do you reckon so? They'd take ginger.
Pasty skin.
Nah.
I reckon they like the fucking freckles because they're like that.
Yeah, because I think there's still a.
Are they dyeing their hair?
I think there's still a pride in like who they are. They just want to be a later version of that. I think it's a complete it's a complete change in race if you're going ginger, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
I think they'd rather
and for a very religious country, there's no way they could possibly dare lose their souls
because
like they're not gonna.
Because there's the like you want to look like you've been indoors. Right, you want to look like you've been indoors, which is why you want to be lighter. But like, there's no amount of being indoors that'll make you ginger.
Yeah.
So it takes away that.
Surely, if you want to look like you're indoors, you just want to come out like fat in a World of Warcraft shirt with spots on your face, and they're like, "Fucking that cunt has never seen outside."
It's like when you get like working class people going to the sunbed centre and stuff.
Aye.
That's just an inverse of like to make it look like you've got more money because you look like you've been on holiday, look like you've been away a few times a year, you've got a tan and all that, right? But you wouldn't get fucking Sandra from Ashton going, I want to be like full Congo black.
Not true. What group of people are the ones that regularly do blackface at Halloween? The working class.
Yeah, that's true.
It's them. It's always them. It's always
true.
them being like, but Demba Ba's my favourite player. Doesn't matter that he's your favourite player. Wear his shirt. Ask for a fucking autograph.
There's a photo that keeps creeping up on my Facebook from somebody I went to school with that got sent to school as Les Ferdinand. And the toon strip fully blacked up at the age of 9.
Aye. So there are definitely white people who are blacking up. Therefore, I think it's unreasonable to say that there's no Indians who are gingering up. And because there's heaps more ginger, there's heaps more Indians, I reckon even if like 0.1% of Indians are gingering up.
I think if you've got like naturally black hair and you bleach it, like it doesn't get blonde, it goes like a ginger colour anyway. So I think there'll be some accidental gingers in the.
Telling you, and that's the one everyone looks up to. Man, if you're ginger and you're sick of this fucking life in this white country where you get bullied all the time, go India, man. God stays. Here's the thing, though, for them to believe.
It'd be funny if you're going out in India thinking I'm going to be the best comedian and Carrot Top's already there killing it.
No, that's why I went to Vegas, just to make sure he was there.
I'm Chindian.
Oh, Should we talk about Vegas?
Vegas. You nearly lost your passport in the airport. You did lose your passport in the airport.
I did, but I didn't. Like, I remember because like we were sat down. This was when we get to London. This is when not everyone who's going to be there is there.
Everyone that's flying from the UK is coagulated
So it was
in the Wetherspoons.
It was 19 of us, all in all. Get a couple of drinks. We go to the gates.
That was very funny when you found out there was going to be 22 people, but you didn't know how many people were there.
So I'm sat there, and people are going because everyone fucked up. Everyone fucked up at some point. They let something slip. So I'm like telling Carl, I'm like, you fucked up the other night. You accidentally told me that fucking Can was coming. I'm then going to sop it. I'm like, you told me 2.5 years ago you were coming. You text me telling me you were fucking coming.
He was the one where I was like, I sent everyone like a golden ticket, like off Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, just going like, you're coming to Vegas. The flights and hotels should be covered, but like, I'll fucking keep you posted with what the budget is. But it should be pretty low budget at your end, blah, blah, right? And fucking immediately thanked you.
No.
I was like, we haven't even fucking raised the money yet.
And I'm telling everyone, and then we're sat down, and I'm like, I still don't know, because I'm counting how many people are there. And Rooney's like, are you still fucking trying to work out what's going on? I'm like, you know what? A little bit of me is because I'm a fucking control freak and I just like knowing things. So I'm like, I know you're probably not allowed to tell me, but am I allowed to ask how many people are actually coming on? Because one of the fuck ups was you said 20, and
But
that
would have got away as an approximation if you got there and there was 19 in the airport.
So I'm like, was it an approximation or was 20 the exact thing? I'm like, so I'm asking people, and Rooney goes, you're a fucking idiot if you think I'm telling you anything. Sid's like, you're a fucking moron if you think.
Even though they just started talking about poker in front of you at Rooney's wedding. They were just talking about their poker tactics.
Well, to be fair, I know they play poker anyway. It wasn't them that fucked up, it was Gareth.
Was it?
He was the one that was like, will you be doing that in Vegas then? And I was like, oh, Matty's like, I'm not slipping up, I've not fucked up at all. And then we get all the way around to Nelson and he just went, 22.
Like, why?
I was like, what the fuck? He was like, no, what have I done? But while I'm telling that story, Soppit comes up to me and just sat across me because you daft cunt, your passport's just fallen out your fucking things on the floor, right? So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm in joggers, of course. So I stay at the back of my joggers, go to the toilet, they call the fucking gate, check my pocket, it's not there. So I know it's within 20 metres of where I am. Like, so I'm not panicked in the sense because we got a train from the other terminal. If it was in the other terminal, I am fucked. It's over.
Train back. Go to the airport, they go to the pub, they've handed it in somewhere else.
Yeah. It's a half an hour thing. I'm either delaying the plane for everyone.
But because you remember falling out of your pocket the first time, you knew it was nearby.
I knew it was nearby. I'm like, either one of the lads will have it, and here's the cam. I'm like, if we're above this type of prank. Right?
Even though we'd been pulling out whoopee cushions.
Yes,
for the eternal flight. We are above stealing passports.
Well, but I think there's a certain type of prank, the way it makes a person feel. If the prank makes somebody feel silly and like, oh, I feel a bit fucking stupid, I'm fine with those types of prank. If a prank induces fear into someone, I'm less okay with those pranks.
I was getting people who I would come off the taxi or whatever, and I'd go and you left that on the seat and hand them my passport. So they'd already got it back before they'd had a chance to worry about it. But they're like, oh my God, thank fuck. And I'm like, that's mine. I can't check your pockets.
So for me, taking somebody's passport, I'm like, it's a prank. I'll let Alphys about, but for me, it crosses the border as a fucking cruel prank. But everyone's just like, Sloss has dropped his fucking passport. We're running around. It was handed in. We're all fucking fine.
In the running around to collect your passport, though, I left me duty free.
Oh, did you?
Because I grabbed me fucking bags to go and run looking for your passport, but like didn't register that I was also carrying this new bag that I joined the party.
Well, I mean, there was a huge fucking fiasco. So here's the thing, like, we're a big stag do of 19 lads, but the thing is, you know, we look like we're together because we're all hanging around and fucking laughing, but we're not all out in costume. We're not fucking, there's not like shirts, there's not like fucking little silly hats and everything. And also, we're drunk, but we're not Larry. Like, we're not chance, we're volume conscious, we're aware of how noisy, you know, we're not trying to do this for everybody else. I don't know how the flight was because, as always, I was second I get onto. I woke up at one point for the meal. I think I watched half of a movie.
You isolated me from the rest of the group because like we were in a big row, but there was like row of mates, aisle, you, then me, and he just fell asleep. So I had sleeping man, and then fucking aisle, and then army mates having a laugh over there, and this poor lady next to us, and I'm just like, right.
You should be like, God, I hope this is one of those in-flight entertainment systems where you can chat from seat to seat.
Yeah, I want to play Bejeweled Blitz.
Are you guys having fun over there?
I don't know.
Craig, I know you're laughing, but check the screen.
Check the screen.
Check the screen.
Is he typing
You're not
back?
typing?
He's not typing back.
Why-
Oh, he just gives a thumbs up. Type thumbs up.
There's no emojis, you're laughing.
I watched Black Adam.
Oh, aye.
And it made the flight way longer than it needed to be. That was a 10-hour movie.
Oh.
What a piece of shit. Anyway, moving on from that.
Is it Sankin' Hot Shit?
Stankin' poo-poo.
Aye.
Horrible.
Worse than Wonder Woman 2?
Aye. Like, the worst of all of the things.
Really?
Aye.
Okay. Worse than The Eternals?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worse than Endgame?
Significantly. So anyway, moving on from that, I didn't want to kill the mood.
No. So we get to Vegas. Do you think we're allowed to talk about the thing? Probably not.
Oh yeah, I mean, probably don't say his name.
But take a note of this
Yeah.
time here.
So one of the guests had been to Cuba, and there was a stamp on their passport saying that they'd been to Cuba.
Yeah.
Right, and then it fucking showed up on the front page of the ESTA application that you can't enter the States if you've been to Cuba in the last 2 years. Now, he'd been to a wedding, so he'd been in and out of Colorado, but he didn't know about the fucking Cuba thing, so he just did it flippantly without knowing. But now he knew, and then it was like, you can't apply for this waiver, and it's like 150 quid, but it takes like fucking 6 weeks or whatever.
Aye. So
If he started the application, he wouldn't have got the passport back. So he had to just go, hoping that they wouldn't flick through, and we took it upon ourselves to just say, don't tell anybody, because if everybody's stretching their neck looking to see who it is that's like going through, it would have just created this nervous tension, and it would have felt obvious.
Well, because I get through absolutely fine. Like, I'm having fucking banter with the lady. She's like, "You seem happy." I'm like, "It's my stag do. I don't know what you call it, your bucks party, fucking bachelor party."
We speak different.
all right, hey. And she was like, "Oh, we get speaking a bit. We get through, and then fucking grabs me from behind and hugs me." And I'm like, "Don't get me wrong, I'm expecting people to be excited, like, but this is like." 9th time to Vegas. That was. And he's like, I can't believe we're here. And I'm like,
oh man,
it's
I couldn't look at him when we were going through, because we'd been tense for weeks. Because like it went from the fucking like wondering if Mark was going to get there or not. Like something's going to come up that like his life's fucking hectic enough without a Vegas trip in the middle of it, and you're just like, oh, this could just fucking go tits up. And then it shifted to like, might be the one. We're going to have to edit this quite a bit, I think. He's going to be the one, and then he was in a different queue to me, and I was just trying to look at the corner of my eye but trying not to stare, and I saw her fanning through the pages, and I was like, she's going to see the fucking stamp, and he's like chatting away, and he's taking sleight of hand, he's like look at me.
Do you ever show you this really high up magic trick I do? Pick a card, any card. You can keep doing your job, by the way. Just keep looking up here.
It was literally that. And then he got asked a couple of questions, and he was answering them, and then he...
What kind of light bulbs you got up there? Those neon. That's fast. Those are so they last quite a while, don't they? Have you?
Oh, that was. Were you there when Nick Cody was all drunk? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, end of a session, everyone's hanging, and Cody's like, if you're looking for stuff to do tomorrow, because it was a day when off was planned, he was going like the Vegas Neon Museum with all the original lights there, and you like walk through, and it's just all of the Vegas lights, and you're going through, and I was just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, Cody, like, doesn't sound class. And then Matty just went, I'll check it out if the Shoelace Museum's shut. I don't think there's a better punchline than Shoelace for that for that form of joke.
I also actually think the old lights of Vegas
it would be good.
Bad. They'll be fucking massive.
But it doesn't matter. That's not what we're doing. It was at the point of the sesh where you just undermine anything anybody says.
You don't need to explain toxicity to me. We'll get to toxicity.
It's at the stage of the night where you're trying to put everyone to bed so you can go to bed. You're just demeaning everything anybody's saying, so they feel like their confidence has been knocked, and they're like, I'm really struggling in chat here, I'm going to go to bed, when their chat is perfectly fine. You just need to put them to bed. Because I'm not going to be going to bed until everybody else does.
It's like the conversation version of those like American mall competitions, whereas whoever keeps their hand on the wedding dress for the longest gets it for free. You're just doing that. We'd be like, I'm gonna fart. I'm gonna shit myself. I'm gonna start singing at the top of my fucking lungs, just stinking the place out. Until...
There's been a couple of times in my life where I've like been to through the last 4 out of 20, and I've just been like, "Oh God, I'll just go to bed." Like I've just floated it, and you can just see people's face light up like it's music to my ears. I'm like, "Well, I made it to the end."
And then all three of them were like, "Thank God you suggested it." You're like, "You fucking losers!" You
I get it, that eight. I'll be doing stairs at the bar one out.
Oh, it would work. It would work. Just the dejected look on all their faces as they went. Is she coming around the tables?
There was one of them where I went to bed at midnight and fucking Tom started trying to give us hell for going to bed at midnight, and I was like, it's midnight the next night for me. You know when you slept. You know when you were in bed for that good 4 hours, not even that much.
Staring at a ceiling over your 7th Coke one.
You do know how I'm on last night.
So we land in Vegas. We'll
have the panic we didn't know was a panic. I had the panic.
We get all of our stuff together. We go outside and
then we introduced the gown of shame.
The gown of shame. So the original concept of it was anyone who complains at any point.
Anyone that's a buzzkill.
Anyone that's a buzzkill just has to put on this fucking nightie with a hat. And it's just a way of being like, look...
This fucking guy's been a loser.
Like, we're all in Vegas together. Like, if you're gonna be a dick...
You're dressing like Scrooge for it.
Aye. First fuck up. I mean, there was lowest fucking odds in Vegas was who was going to fuck up first and get this fucking nightie. It was obviously Rich Masara had bought some gin from duty free, so he could have some gin and tonics in his hotel room, so he didn't have to pay for very expensive.
We're just going downstairs to get them because you're having a gamble and you can just drink in your room.
Aye. And Tom Horton comes out and just in his big fucking bumbling Boris Johnson Tory fashion.
I'm a Tory.
Aye, fucking smashes his thing. He has to get that put on. We get on the bus, all start fucking drinking. Now the great thing about Vegas is like there's the airport and then there's Vegas, and it is like, to give you context, Matthew, our hotel is closer to Vegas Airport than we are currently to Edinburgh Airport. That's how Vegas works. Like it's the airport, and there's also another airport in Vegas, like right beside the Strip, but that's for like private flights and fucking whatnot. Everyone starts getting excited. I was excited for so many. Well, one, just because this thing had been 2.5 years in the fucking making, and it's finally there. I love Lads Holidays. It was a fucking good bunch of
got the whole crew together.
Lads. I love Vegas.
And like the only other time we'll get that whole crew together is your wedding, and there's going to be birds there.
Yeah. Or my funeral, and I'll be there for that. I'll be busy in Morocco.
Living off the insurance money.
With Karen Kaelin. We just bored of everyone else. Like I'm not even...
Like, why are they not here?
Yeah. Did Karen Kaelin also die?
They've got COVID. They don't want to give everyone COVID. They're zooming in. Like, who's that in the background car?
Who's holding the camera? Buzzing off because so many people hadn't been at Vegas before. Poor fucking Ricketts had never been to, not only never been to Vegas, Ricketts had never been to America. That was his first time in America, was in Vegas. Going to Vegas for your first visit to America.
When you've just turned 40.
Yeah, is like losing your virginity at the age of 50 to somebody shitting in your mouth. It's like don't get me wrong, like this does happen and this is a part of it sometimes,
but have your teenage fumble first.
Yeah, but like come on man,
figure out tits.
Yeah, New York. Boston, like come on, Texas, Austin,
Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Okay.
Nah, Disneyland's class.
We get to we're all saying at the
Just wide-eyed at the strip coming in because it's night time when we got there as well. So,
Aye.
you know, it was funny as well. You missed it on a lot of the chat because Mark Nelson got a connection for Brewdog, right? And that Brewdog is class. It's got like it's like a sky bar, roof terrace, and all that. And you might not be able to waltz in and get a table for fucking 22 immediately. So he used a contact to try and fucking organise the table for the first night. But the chat of him coming into the WhatsApp going, I've got a connection in Brewdog, I'm going to be able to get in. I'm like, any chance you could get us into WH Smith in the airport as well? You know, just one of these places that you can notoriously just waltz in off the street. I mean,
man, is there any chance you can get me into a church next Sunday? I've been wanting to go for years.
I
but
just
the
haven't got in.
The queue. I'm always in the queue, but there's some people camp out overnight. I just can't.
I kind of did. So there's a lot of chat about that. And then I fucking looked it up and I was like, that's 100% what we're doing.
Yeah.
Class
so
spot.
we all check in. We're all drinking in our rooms. We're all getting silly. And
We've turned up to fucking 30 grams of gear.
Oh, yeah.
We turned up to it. It was already sorted.
This is something I'll need to acknowledge very early on. I don't think anyone listening to the podcast will be surprised, since Carol was not even remotely surprised. But after 2.5 years of me being like, I'm not touching coke, that part of my life is fucking over. And also I don't trust the fact that there's not like fentanyl in it. Like, I've read all those stories, just not doing it. Turn up with, bleep out that name.
I found a reputable...
Yeah, hold on. So one of the guests found 30 grams of cocaine from his like regular dealer who tests and is like, does it himself.
Yeah.
And he just gave me this whole fucking speech of being like, it's this, I've had it myself, I've tried it before. This guy doesn't, do that.
He's a good guy as well, because I met him at the end to drop off leftover mushrooms.
Aye. And then Soppet was just like, it's your fucking stag do, and I'll kill you if you don't. And I was like, well, okay. Let's...
It was funny as well, because I was like, you know what, I'll be first ones over the trenches. I fucking organised it, right? And I had knocked up a line, and I was like asking Barry if he wanted one. So I fucking knocked up these like reasonably just like fucking mild lines to start off. We're going in the shower, let's find out if these fuck up or not, right? And I got out the shower and he was like, do you want a real one now? With a massive slug. Massive slug on the desk. I was like, fuck me in for a penny. And then it was just like later in the evening, you just saw us still alive, and you were like, sure.
That was
Canaries down the main.
Went to Brewdog. That's when the Nick Cody surprise happened.
Yeah.
Which was like because I put him on the fucking list, but with everything, with his fucking radio job, the fact that he's a father of 2 and he lives in Australia and he's already flying to Scotland.
And he's been dealing with some shit at the minute as well.
Yeah, and he's also coming to Scotland for the fucking wedding. I was like, there's no way I'll be there. So he was a proper surprise.
He set up his studio in his room and did radio every afternoon. So he would like finish the sesh, go in and have like 1 hour sleep, and then turn up and just start talking about what his fucking favourite tuck shop combo was to people driving to work.
It was so funny because his co-host is ex-AFL Aussie Rules football player called Brendan Favola, who AFL players are notoriously just fucking dogs. Like, they're always drinking, they're always in the newspaper for getting in trouble doing stupid fucking shit. He's with a retard one of those, but he's only retired from the sport, nothing else. Cody was saying, like, every morning he's going on the thing hungover, and at the end of like the 3-hour radio thing, Brendan's like, you're not fucking done in Vegas until you're 20 fucking grand down, okay? That's when you're fucking done. You get back out there, you keep fucking
between
drinking,
songs,
you keep fucking...
They play a song and go, you've got 4 minutes, go and put a fiver on red and come back with a Bloody Mary.
Man, honestly, like, Nick would get 2 hours sleep, do that radio thing, and then he would come downstairs like he was in the final of the fucking Super Bowl, and he'd been pumped up by like, woo, let's do this. You're like, buddy, it's 2 p.m. Like, we're done. This energy's good. This energy's good, but we're off to Topgolf. It's that first night. When we get back to the fucking casino and we all just get into our fucking gambling, I've got a couple of stories to tell here, so feel free to fucking interrupt with any ones you want to tell, but just try and keep track of where I am in this. Good luck. Roulette is my game, because I don't think in Vegas you're ever going to find better odds than 50-50. That's if you're betting red or black. I mean, I know it's not 50-50.
Still not 50-50
it's
there.
49-49 because of the fucking greens or whatever. I've got my numbers that I play, and roulette's a table you can stay on for a while. Standard rules that we've always had in Vegas: you stick 20 in the machine, And you sit there, you get your drinks. If at any point you double your money, you cash out fucking immediately. If you get up to like 60, whatever, you cash out, and then like that, you save the double up, and then any extra you can stick back in the machine and bet. And it's just a surefire way of ensuring that either you double your money or you only lose $20. That was how we used to do Vegas, and that's how we're all doing Vegas at this point. I'm there, and this is a canny thing to say, but welcome to who I am now. 20 doesn't touch the sides, man. That's not. It's like people who smoke weed for the first time will be high for 5 fucking hours. They'll giggle. They'll still be a bit like lethargic the next fucking day. Great. That's. I'm a seasoned stoner. I need 2 edibles when I wake up. I need a fucking spliff of my fucking coffee. My tolerance is high. My money tolerance is higher.
Yeah. I went to the table playing craps, right, just to figure out the game, because I knew how to play it. I just needed a rerun, so I went on the machine, 5 minimum bets and that, right, and I'm just fucking playing, and I got me fucking $20 up to $150, right, and then I was like, right, I'm ready for the table. Took it out at the table, lost it in a second. I was like, fuck. Took it that was craft.
So that first night, I'm getting more drunk, and with a bunch of fucking boys, right. And I get to the point where I put 100 in the machine, and I've gone up to like fucking 200 and I think maybe 300, right? And I think Rudy's over my shoulder is like, watching you gamble is disgusting because you're just putting fivers on things like that. You know, I'm putting bigger fucking
on the fucking numbers rather than on the red and black.
Yeah. I'm just gambling bigger numbers. I mean, don't get me wrong. In the scope of Vegas, I'm still.
I'm
so low. I'm on the tiny.
I didn't see you doing that out on the Bellagio.
No, I'm not that fucking. But night one, when I'm fucking drunk, I'm like, I'll bet fucking tenors on single number, blah blah blah. People gathering around because, man, I've taken up from fucking 100 to 300. And everyone's like, cash out, just fucking cash out. And I'm like, absolutely, I'll cash out. Ricketts, red or black. He's like, don't make me do it. I'm like, do it, red or black. He goes, black. I stick it all on black. And it comes in. And we're all like, yeah, up to 620. This is fucking amazing. And everyone's like, cash out, cash out. I'm like, absolutely. Cody, red or black. He's like, only dogs don't go red. And I'm like, done. 600 on red. Everyone's like, cancel it, get it off. Spins round, lands in fucking red. We lose our fucking minds. We're like, oh my God. I cash out then, obviously, because I'm like, that's insane. 1,200 quid. You got to hand your passport in. They've got to make you fucking sign stuff for that amount of money in fucking Vegas. I'm like, this is it. Take me to the fucking high road.
That was on the machine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it doesn't let you cash out that on a slip.
Nah. So Ricketts comes up and congratulates me. He's like, that was unbelievable. And after I got my winnings, I've got one of the hundreds in. I'm like, I stick it at the table and I go, let's see if you're still as lucky. Red or black? And he's like, black. Comes in, double. And I go, red or black? And he goes, black. Comes in, double it. I cash out the 400. I give it to him. I win. You owe me $100. Enjoy Vegas. And he ran off into the night. Gareth came over and was like, can I get in on that? I'm like, absolutely. It's the same fucking 100. Stick it in the machine. He's like, Arsenal red. I'm like, done. Red. Doubles. I'm like, one more. He's like, one more. He's like, Arsenal red. I'm like, Arsenal red. Doubles. I cash out. He's like, do I need to give you the 100 back? I'm like, if you want to. Otherwise, just buy me heaps of shots. And he's like, that one. And he ran off into the night to enjoy Vegas. Cullen's like, obviously, I'm getting involved in this.
The look of the Irish.
I'm like, absolutely, baby. I stick in $100. And he's like, red for Arsenal. Green.
Green for Ireland.
And that was Cullen for the rest of the fucking
all holiday.
There will be a separate podcast that we do. It'll be the next one on the fucking Patreon where I'll have Cullen on and I'll talk to him because me and him need to talk about some shit that happened in fucking Vegas. That cunt, I'm not kidding.
You touch your table and it would go sour.
For everyone that was...
You'd be doing well at your table, you'd touch it and it would just start fucking chipping away at your stack and you can't just give it the touch of death.
That man lost 90% of the 50-50s I saw him playing. It was remarkable.
It started becoming funny. Like, I mean, it was always funny, but it started becoming comical. It started becoming scripted. It was like, it was unbelievable how much he was losing 50-50s.
And not only with his own, with my money. So because of, and for anyone that was rightfully, while listening to me talk about spending all that money, they'd been like, what a fucking obnoxious prick Sloss has become now that he's become a bit wealthy. Here's the fucking comeuppance, right? Despite being that much up on fucking day one, on that Vegas trip, I still had to go to the ATM twice and I came back with nothing, right?
Because you put it all back in.
Yeah, and because I trusted Cullen 7 fucking times.
Because you thought like, It's odds on for
Man,
one of his 50-50s
there
to
was-
come in now.
I swear to fucking God, there was one night, right, where I, steaming drunk at the table, so drunk that I put the wrong bet down once, thought I'd won, and the lady was like, that wasn't your bet.
Oh, it was on a day while watching the wrong wheel.
No, it was at a table.
Oh, right, because there was one that we did where we watched it come in, and then it was on a different, because there's a red table and a blue table, and we're watching the wrong wheel on the screens.
No, this one was the same fucking table. I just got, oh man, I was steaming drunk, I couldn't fucking see. Thought that was my chip. But I was like, that's my chip. She was like, it's not. She's like, don't try that again. I was like, I wasn't trying anything. And then I'm like, fucking, I hate when people think you're drunker than you are. It's so annoying. Like, I can fucking compose myself, and I look down, I'm like, oh, that's not a $1 chip. That's a $10 chip. That's a $10 chip in Black 11. God fucking damn. God, well, that's the last of my money. Black 11. I was like, unbelievable. 360 bucks. I'm like, I cash out. Colin's like, let's go double it. I'm not doing it. I'll stick 250 in, and then we'll see. He's like, absolutely. He's like, it's gonna be red. I'll give you one guess.
Green. Duck did that as well, where he was at the poker table, he was just chatting away, right, and he fucking he just kept taking the fucking 5 or whatever off the top, putting minimum bet on his hand, and then playing the hand or whatever, right, and then he played his hand, won it, and went, thank fuck for that was 100. He was like, thank fuck for that. You think if I knew it was 100, I wouldn't have twisted?
So during this, Gareth was true to his words and kept plying me with fucking drinks. I'm doing heaps of drinks away. Around about 4 a.m, the reason I know I was very, very drunk was because on night 1 of my stag do, at 4 a.m, I walked up to 10 of the lads and I went, I might go to bed. And every single one of them went, yeah, yeah, man, that's yeah.
You were literally in the nightgown at the time because you'd fell down one step as if it was loads of steps.
Oh no!
You kept on tumbling.
I gotta thank fucking Ricketts for this, right? Because the whole point of the nightgown is if you're ruining it and being
if you've been a buzzkill,
right? So I stumbled down Ashley. I don't fall over. My drink was still in my hand, and the drink didn't spill. I didn't spill any on me. But so it went down.
But you did hit the deck, and the knee went down, and the shoulder.
Yeah. But got up and fucking. I think it's like Matty and Gareth fucking run over lobbying. And the one thing I've learned from many lads' holidays is you don't lobby back. If somebody's demanding you do something, suck it up and do it, because complaining is just
out.
So, but I'm like,
Ricketts must have been like, oh, if you're giving it away for that, I'm going to be in it loads. I need to defend the game's parameters.
But man, I wasn't being a fun sponge by falling over.
Yeah.
I just fucking fell over. I was like, but he came over and argued. He's like, well, you're changing the rules of the game at this point. Just be aware. And anyway, I ended up putting in. I go to bed at 4 a.m. People that night I think stayed out till all the way through.
Yeah, well, I went back to a room and there was like people taking gear in the room, and it got to like 7 and there was maybe 5 who were left, and 2 of them wanted to go and watch the Arsenal game, so we just fucking got in a taxi and went to this pub, and it was just this fucking had like Britain bunting up. There was a fucking big cardboard cutout life size of the Queen, which Mark Nelson stole and put in Rich Masara's bed.
Right.
Did you see the joke where Rich Masara had made a bed sheet and it was like Captain Tom arriving in heaven and people welcoming him, like Madeline McCann were up there welcoming him to heaven, and the Queen was there and all that, right? This bed sheet, and on the last day he put the bed sheet onto his bed, and Nelson just went, fuck you, Rich, and sent the picture, and he was like, what do you mean fuck you, you've had it on every night this week, and then posted every picture where he just draped it over him either in the morning or when he got in. He draped the sheet over him and just does this reveal of all the photos of the bed.
Was that the
bed
spread?
The bedspread was on him every single night that he went to bed. So we went straight from that pub and met you guys at Topgolf. So whenever he's got up and had your breakfast or whatever.
So we, Colin, Ricketts, Brett, it doesn't matter, me and a group of 5 lads went to Planet 13 to pick up like the first bunch of fucking weed we were going to be having on the trip. And this is despite the night before had been fucking silly and boisterous and boys being idiots and stuff. Topgolf was the day it got toxic, and I take responsibility for some of it, for being
You
some
had
of the
such
few.
a toxic group in your booth.
Man, so we get to the Topgolf bit, which is amazing. We've got like 3 booths. We've got all this fucking food up the back. We've got
Texas barbecue at the back. Just so our booth had its own barbecue to it, and it was also free rolling drinks because we just paid the money per head for drinks. And I thought that meant they were just going to be stingy, and you struggle to find a barmaid because she was there. She was just like our personal like fucking chaperone, and just kept the drinks full to the brim all the way through it. Bear in mind, we'd still been up since before we travelled.
I start doing this bit with Cullen, which is just going up to him and being like, have you taken any weed this holiday? Yeah. And he'll be like, you watched me take an edible 30 minutes ago. And I'm like, I think your marijuana smoke is making your memories much worse. I think you need to take like another. He's like, I'm not going to do. So we're in the booth at this point. We've taken edibles before we get there, and I know it's half an hour before, but I'm getting giddy.
And it hasn't even fully kicked in yet.
I know, but it's 10 milligrams. Right? Me and Cullen's tolerance is fucking way past anyone else there. So I'm like, fucking come on, man, we'll be absolute fine. He's like, I'm not doing it. I took one literally 30 minutes ago, and I'm fucking drinking, and I've had 2 hours sleep, and I just start going. He's like, it's not going to work, and you're like,
and then someone hears you in the journey like,
someone else behind, and then you start like scratching at the
we
floor.
don't even know what we're clicking at, and you're like,
and soon enough, it's 21 men just in these booths going, and Cole's like, fine, fucking I'll have one.
That just became the culture for the whole trip as well. The amount of shit that I shotted and took, even though I knew I was fucking sideways, and I'd already been fucking my legs taken, I was putting stuff down the hatch because people were cooking like chickens.
That fucking sound is the reason I did mushrooms when I didn't want to do mushrooms. When I fucking stayed up for 4 extra hours when I didn't want to fucking stay up. You just be like, I'm not really in the...
And then I'd have had a line in my room, and then I'd gone into somebody else's room to say we're leaving now, and they're going, I've knocked you up a line, and you're like, oh, I've just had what? And then you can just see them forming their lips, and you're like, pass that fucking note right now. Yeah, right then, I'll die. I'll die, so not to be a coward. It was a horrible culture.
So dumb.
But it got us in a belter state, though.
It's
fucking mess we're in.
Funny. It's such a horrible way to ensure that everyone has the maximum amount of fun as possible. But it's been like, lads, none of us are allowed to slow down, and I've got this perfect way. Because
as well, the way I organised, I was just like, oh right, we'll finish that free bar, and then we've got to be in fancy dress at the party bus in like 3 hours. So you've got a couple hours to just get showered, get changed into your stuff, have a nap if you want. I'm going for a nap. I'm not going for a nap then. I'll have a line then.
On the walk back, right? I am walking up and down our fucking queue of lads walking back, like just like Mary Poppins, but like just squawking like. like
the chicken scatter in the corner.
Oh man, yeah, just to the point where like Colin comes up to me, he's like, I am in trouble here. Can and Tom went to their room for like 2.5 hours. We're like super fucked up. I don't think they could find the door.
Oh yeah, they didn't take that edible well. Like Nelly didn't make it back out. I think it was Milo had to have a word. Just going, look, this is one of the things. There's like 5 events where like everybody's together at once. They haven't fucked this up, and they really had to pull themselves up by their bootstraps to get back in the mix.
And that was when it was revealed that it was the Marvel night, which was...
And you had a custom-made Natasha Romanoff.
I did.
One suit. That's why you were just... I think you were changing Kaelin, and I'd just come up with a tape measure and started measuring your chest.
Yeah. I was like, all right. I mean, it fit well. It was comfortable. And everyone else was dressed up as... man, I can't fucking call Milo out here, right? I am very, very aware that I am not the... I think I'm an expressive person, but I don't think I'm as expressive as I am when it comes to like excitement or positive ones, right? And that's been brought up by Gina on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Being like, it's not that I'm not grateful, but just your way of showing gratitude is, minimal and leaves a lot to be desired. Something I'm working on. So, but I'm never enough for Milo, right?
Yeah, he wants you to just be like, oh my God, man, you did this for me. Man, little old me start crying and that.
I put on my fucking Natasha Romanoff costume, right? I watch you put on your
Spider-Man. I thought I'd done myself a solid by doing Spider-Man because you can get like a decent level screen accurate like one suit, so you don't have to have much on, just that, right? fucks you up because you need to take your clothes off fully to piss. You also need to take your clothes off fully to use your phone because your arms are in and you've got no pockets. I totally fucked myself for being that level of inebriated, trying to organise everybody, and I cannot use my phone.
Should have had a fanny
I
pack.
can't piss. I ended up wearing a jacket because there's a picture of Miles Morales from the Multiverse where he's got a very similar jacket to what I had on and the exact same
Chicago
Lost and Founds that you had on. So I ended up being screen accurate with pockets.
Aye. I'd seen you dress up as that. I'd seen Ali dress up as...
He was not Black Widow, you were Black Widow. He was Hawkeye.
Yes, he was.
He was like post-accent Jeremy Renner.
And I'd seen...
Soppitz was the best.
Yeah.
Soppitz is Star-Lord. He was like, he texted us back, going, who the fuck's Star-Lord? Because obviously Soppit's not that fucking bang into the Marvel universe, right? Soppitz. So who the fuck's Star-Lord? 2 minutes later... This is me. He had the fucking perfect outfit. And then you'd have Elliot, who was dressed as a fucking tree, as Tom pointed out. The thing that you give the shit kid to dress as in the nativity because it's the least difficult thing to dress as. Yeah. And he was like still shopping in the airport for his outfit.
Milo comes through at one point and I'm like, hey, he's like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm fucked, man. Like I'm on a cocktail of weed and booze and lack of sleep and fucking cocaine and aye, but I'm having a good time. He's like, you've not reacted to anyone's costume. I'm like, I'm dressed as Black Widow. Like that. There's no. This is the joke suit. Like this is it. I'm the one dressed as the hot lady wearing the spandex. Fucking everyone else's costumes are great, and I'm very happy. But I'm not going to be like, oh my god, no way. I'm dressed as Black Widow. Like what?
What was funny with Milo's outfit? He was Loki, right? And his came with a muscle suit. Now Milo's already muscly. Matty was Thor, and his came without muscles.
Man,
he looked like Axl Rose.
No, he didn't. He looked like Will Ferrell in Eurovision.
I did.
He was the fucking spitting dad.
Loads of people were telling me look good. He was like, why are you lying to me? I look like it did.
I just kept going out to sing Yaga Ding Dong! Sing Yaga Ding Dong! I think we're going to have to wrap this up.
This is going to have to be 2 parts. We're going to have
and there'll be an interlude with Cullen on, I guess, unless you want to do the Thursday one.
I'm going to come through on Wednesday. Right, okay. So we'll put a bookmark in this. So where we're up to, we're still on day 2, Topgolf Marvel Night. We'll call it an interlude here, and we'll fill you in on the rest of it on Thursday. That's a real clickbait thing to do to them as well, because the public are going to hear this one. So,
and the other one's a Patreon.
We're going to
expect tactical fucking geniuses.
Expect a spike of £3.
What happens next? What you won't believe. I said what to Cullen? What? How many fingers ended up in Tom's asshole? Find out next time.
You find out about Tom disgracing himself. You find out about who won the poker tournament. Mm-hmm. You find out about the fucking taking acid to can't watch Tournament of Kings.
That was a fucking bad, dark day. We had the weekend at Bernie's, Cullen, after that.
I've seen the pictures because I wasn't paying much attention to anyone else apart from fucking my visuals that I was having. But anyway, we're clickbaiting the shit out of you. Pay your £3, listen to it, and then just cancel your subscription.
Aye. But geese that money first. And hey, it's not going to Vegas anymore.
We'll spend it on stuff. We'll spend it on mic stands. We can move without them making a noise. Stuff like that. It's going back to you. We're reinvesting in you. Right, so in a bit. Also, if you sign up to Patreon, we've got a roast that we recorded because we haven't even got to that bit yet.
Alright, but realistically, how much of that roast is going out?
About half of it.
And we're not putting the video up.
It's going to probably end. It's probably going to end careers if we put out the raw footage, but also the dignity of our partners. They didn't sign up for that. So there's a handful of shit. I'm still going to show Natalie the full thing at some point. But you can't expect everyone else to be that sound. So there's got to be something of a roast that we'll show you. And we also had a crowd facing camera that might have to be very tactical with when it faces the crowd.
Just get rid of all the visuals.
Look, we're going to put something out for you, but... can there just be a no snitches tier where we're just paying?
There is some stuff. There's at least 40% of that stuff in that.
There's one of the things that Mark Nelson says that just still rings in my head, going I would have been scared to say that. Even if I knew it wasn't being recorded in case anyone repeated it.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoy that episode.
So coming soon.